ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar, my dear friends. This is video number 3 on the spiritual teachings of Swami Brahmananda, a direct disciple of Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. In this video, I am going to start chapter 12th, Company of Holy Men, and when he was Balur Swami Brahmananda says, when once you get established in meditation, you will come to know how sweet is the bliss of it. Days and nights pass away unnoticed. You feel that you are floating in an ocean of infinite bliss. Do not speak about your experiences to everybody, least of all to those of a contrary nature. It may hinder your growth. But if you exchange your experiences with one of a like nature with yours and in harmony with your temperament, you may be helped in your progress. Both of you are travelers on the same path. Perhaps your companion has already walked along it and is aware of its dangers and difficulties. Benefited by his experiences, you may be able to avoid those dangers and difficulties. Do you know the object of satsang, company of holy men? The experiences of holy men are a great help to a sadhaka. When you visit a new place, if you have the help of a good guide, you will be able to see within a short time all that is worth seeing there. Also, you will be saved from the dangers and difficulties into which strangers are likely to fall. Similarly, from the company of advanced sadhakas, you will be able to gather many valuable hints and your spiritual struggle will be very much simplified. The intelligence of an ordinary man does not go very far. Life is short and many things have to be done. So you must find out the best way of doing your work within as short a time as possible. Hence the need of holy company. This life may come to an end after some years or even today. Nobody knows when the end will come. It is better to get equipped for the journey as soon as possible. To go empty-handed to a strange and unknown place would involve much suffering and sorrow. Birth must inevitably lead to that death. Death means going to an unknown place, so you should provide fully for the journey. Finish all your duties here and be ever ready for the great call. Then you will be able to depart from this world with a smiling face. If you have finished all your work, there is no fear for you. You know that you are well provided for the journey. You have seen that children, while turning around a post, keep firm hold of it. You too should be, by all possible means, hold firmly to the pillar of life, God. Have faith in yourself. Believe I am a man, I can do anything. With strong such faith in yourself, forge ahead and you will attain to your life's goal and be blessed forever. Fear is the greatest sin. Banish all fear and weakness from your mind. When the desire to realize God is alive in you, when you have the opportunity to lead a spiritual life, put forth all your might and get a taste of supreme bliss. The cycle of birth and death is full of misery. Make the best use of your present life. Free yourself from this cycle and become the eternal companion of the Lord. Unless you can fix your mind on God, you will find it very difficult to keep yourself pure in this world. Mahamaya, the Divine Mother, sports in diverse ways, and it is not easy to withstand the innumerable temptations created by her. Lust, anger, greed are almost invincible. To conquer them is no child's play. Through the strength of the Lord alone, not by any other means, can you cut the meshes of Maya and make yourself free. Therefore, I urge you to become strong in the might of the Lord. Then you can pass the rest of your life as He wills and direct. It is not given to ordinary mortals to know God through their own exertion. They alone can understand Him, to whom, out of His infinite grace, He reveals Himself. Only such fortunate persons become free from the net of samsara, worldliness, and obtain pure devotion and liberation. You must have a routine for spiritual practices. Nishtha, steadfastness, is a very important factor. Without it, no great achievement is possible. Your steadfastness must be of such a nature that whenever and wherever and under whatever circumstances you may be, the rules that you have laid down for yourself must be observed at any cost. For your meditation, your study, your reflection, your sleep, you must have certain definite hours. If you lead an irregular life, you cannot succeed in anything, whether it is physical or mental development. The only way to attain it is through a strictly regular life. If a clock gets out of order, the watch repairer set it right, then it continues to keep correct time. So with the mind of man, it has become irregular owing to various reasons. By keeping the company of good men, you will get your mind set properly. If you try to mold your life according to the instructions of a holy man, you will easily avoid the pitfalls and temptations of life. Following in their footsteps, you too will reach the goal attained by them and fulfill your life's purpose. As long as your mind is not controlled, there is great need to observe certain definite rules. Without them, you can never get mastery over your mind. The natural tendency of the mind is to shirk work. But when you have made a routine, you must tell your mind, you are subject to this rule now. Whether you like it or not, you must observe it. In this way, you should try to bring the mind under control. When you have succeeded in this, you need not observe any more rules. They will fall off of their own accord. Life is fast flowing away like a stream. The day that is once gone can never be recalled, so make the best use of your time. Crying out, alas, alas, at the last moment will be of no avail. Therefore, be up and doing. Make up your mind to realize your goal or die in the attempt. Death is certain. It may come today or tomorrow. If you lose your life in trying to attain God, it is no loss but a positive gain. Try to fix your mind on the Lord and firmly resolve to realize Him. What happiness is there in this world? It is all nothing but sorrow and misery. Treat it as worthless. You must go beyond all sorrow and misery. If you get a glimpse of God, you will have infinite bliss, and sensuous pleasures will lose all charm for you. When you have once come to the Lord, there will be no room for fear or anxiety. Give up all things of the world and dwell on Him and Him only. Chapter 13, The World and God at the Naya Bazar Bungalow, Bhadrak. The Swami Brahmananda says God is the kalpatru, the mythical tree that grants whatever a man desires when he is sitting under it. From him one gets whatever one asks for. Yet, having obtained the rare privilege of human birth, man does not care to direct his mind toward the lotus feet of the Lord. Instead, he drowns himself in the deep ocean of samsara and exclaims, "How happy am I!" God also allows him to remain in that state undisturbed until, tossed about on the wave of sorrow and misery, he repents for the past and cries, "Alas, what have I done?" Then he makes him feel his mistake. Man is, as it were, sitting under the shadow of the Kalpatru. If he wants to be a god, so can he be. If he wishes to be a brute, that also he may become. The Lord has given man both Vidya and Avidya. Vidya means discrimination and renunciation. With it, man may attain the grace of the Lord. While Avidya, which means lust, anger, greed, egoism, envy, degrades man to the level of the brute. The culture of Vidya destroys avidya and makes man fit for supreme bliss. But the growth of avidya strengthens the idea of I and mine and binds him more and more to the world. He is taken further and further away from God and has to bear many sorrows and difficulties. Man possesses not only vidya and avidya but also the power to discriminate between the two. On the nature of his choice depends the success or failure of his life. It is a great mistake to hold God responsible for your sufferings. You choose a path according to your own will and pleasure and now enjoy the consequences of your choice. How can you blame God for a moment's pleasure? You forgot everything else. You did not pause to consider right and wrong. If you put your hand into the fire, it will naturally get burned. Is it the fault of the fire? No, you alone are responsible for it. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, "A lamp is burning." Some may read Bhagavatam, sacred scriptures, by its light, while others may forget forge a document, or do some other mischief. The lamp is not to blame for it. The Lord has placed before man the two paths, good and evil. Choose as you please. As you think, so you become. With the help of discrimination and renunciation, realize God and become heir to infinite bliss. If you run after worldly things, you may no longer doubt enjoy sensuous pleasures for a time, but you may be sure your future will be dark and gloomy, and you will have to pass through endless suffering. The world is so the world is so constituted that if you want pleasure, you must undergo pain, whether you like it or not. You cannot have the one without the other. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, according to the popular belief, when the Malaya breeze blows, all the timber trees are converted into sandal trees, while the bamboo, the plantain, and other trees remain what they are. Similarly, there are two classes of men in this world. Men belonging to the first of these are easily influenced by spiritual teachings which awaken in them viveka, discrimination, and vairagya, renunciation. They regard the world as worthless and yearn for the grace of the Lord. They are determined to realize Him and solve the mystery of existence even at the risk of their lives. With such a firm resolution, they begin their sadhana and succeed in the end. The people of the second class can never be awakened either by the sorrows and miseries of life or by any lofty spiritual ideas. They think they are going to live eternally and fondly imagine that without them the world cannot go on. What I have in my hand I must enjoy to the full. Otherwise I shall be a fool. Thinking thus, they drag themselves down to the depths of ignorance and suffering. What is that you want? The sweat, The sweet perfume of sandal or the foul odor of field? Do you want peace or unrest? Decide exactly what you want and strive for its attainment. Time is flowing like a swift stream. It will be of no avail to cry over the past when it is too late. Make the best use of the present without wasting a single moment. Train your mind in such a way that you may constantly think of God and nothing else. Your days are numbered, they are fast running out. Do not spend your time in vain. Pray to the Lord with all your heart and soul. Lord, give me wisdom and make me thine own. Give up all ideas of I and mine. You have suffered enough on the account. Replace I and mine by thou and thine. Is there anything that you can call your own the moment you die? Nothing you now cherish as yours will accompany you. Those you hold very dear will pass away when their time comes without caring for you. Leaving everything behind, you will have to go to an unknown place. The more you think of I and mine, the more you better yourself. What is there in this samsara for which to spend your whole life? Can this worldly life help you cross the ocean of birth and death? Will it save you from the troubles that may attend you in afterlife? What greater misfortune can befall you than to leave unfulfilled the purpose for which you have taken this birth? Make a strenuous effort and pray to Him with earnest devotion that you may reach the goal. Have you not heard what Sri Ramakrishna used to do at Dakshineshwar? How bitterly he used to cry for a sight of the Divine Mother, saying, Mother, one more day is gone, and thou hast not blessed me, yet blessed me with vision of thee. Call on him with an intense yearning. What is this world but an abode of misery? You have spent most of your days here in sorrow and trouble, and do you wish to do the same hereafter as well? You have come under the shelter of Sri Ramakrishna. Know that you have been blessed by him. Make good use of the grace you have received. It will be really very unfortunate if you fail to solve the riddle of life and death and do not obtain eternal bliss. You are the man of this age and have caught its spirit. Do not fail to take full advantage of it. No one in any age has shown the path in such a simple and easy manner as Sri Ramakrishna has done. If you miss this opportunity, you will have to suffer long. Spread the sails of faith and devotion, and with the aid of spiritual breeze, that is blowing push on to your goal. Do it, and your boat will be carried swiftly to its destination. He is waiting for you. Arise, awake, infinite capacity is within you. Have firm faith in yourself and say, I have heard his name. I have taken shelter at his feet. Fear and weakness can have no place in me. By his grace, I will attain him in this very life. Do not look back, go ahead, be blessed with his vision. Thus fulfill the mission of your life and partake of infinite bliss. Chapter 14, Nature of Man, at the Ramakrishna Sevasram, Kankhal, Haridwar. Swami Brahmananda says, this place is very sacred. Here it is not difficult to attain concentration of the mind. The very atmosphere is pure. The holy Ganges and the majestic Himalayas naturally induce the mind to become calm and meditative. The eternal sound of Omkara can be heard here. Having come to this place, it will be really unfortunate if you spend your time in sleep and idleness. Far better Far better to give up your body in this place practicing meditation and austerities. Human birth is for the attainment of wisdom and devotion, not for living and procreating like brutes. God is most manifest in the human body. Try to grasp and realize this. Have you not heard what severe austerities the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna used to perform to realize the truth? They all saw in Sri Ramakrishna a blazing fire of spirituality, and hence they could do so much. It may not be possible for you to do all they did, but at least try. Swamiji gave his very life to build up this organization and to give facilities to you all for your spiritual sadhana. Try to realize the great love that Swamiji bore you. He cut short his life by overwork out of his infinite love for all. Do not be ungrateful to him. He had great faith in Bengal. To you, young men of Bengal, Swamiji has left the charge of his mission as a sacred trust. Remain true and loyal to him. Sri Ramakrishna manifested himself to the world through Swami Vivekananda and gave his message through him. Sri Ramakrishna is too great for the ordinary mind to understand. Swamiji has placed Sri Ramakrishna and his ideals before the world so that they may be understood by the ordinary mind. All blessed souls will have to come under his banner. Read Swamiji's works carefully, and whenever you do not understand any point, ask Swami and others to explain it. Swamiji has preached Sri Ramakrishna's ideals in a form intelligible to all. It is madness to try to understand Sri Ramakrishna except in the light of Swamiji's teachings. Read again and again the sayings of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji's works and plunge yourself in the meditation. If you cannot fix your mind now, you will repent hereafter. This is the best period of your life. Make good use of it. Once you get well established in the spiritual life, there will be no fear for you. Then you can turn your mind in any direction you like. Bring your mind under control. When this is done, a good advance has been made. But take care, let not your mind swerve from the straight path even by an inch. When it wants to run astray, curb it by every possible means. Beginners should have a routine for spiritual practices with fixed hours for japam, meditation, and study. With firm determination, tell your mind whether you like it or not, these rules must be followed. After some time, a habit will be formed and it will be painful to remain without meditation. When such a state is attained, it means you are progressing toward the ideal. Know that you are nearing God when you feel as restless for His vision as a hungry and sleepy man for food and sleep. First get a taste of divine bliss and become immortal, then come what may. Whether you are cast into the street or placed on a throne, it will be all the same to you. When the iron is turned into gold by the touch of the philosopher's stone, it does not matter whether it is kept in a safe or buried in the ground. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, have the knowledge of Advaita in your pocket and act as you please. After attaining the knowledge of the absolute or supreme devotion to the Lord, whatever work you do will not bind you. The religious life is full of obstacles. Divine Mother does not easily release man from the bonds of her Maya. To obtain her grace, one should pray with a devout and yearning heart. You have a whole bundle of sanskaras, tendencies acquired in previous lives to overcome, and even now new sanskaras are being formed and added. All your life you must be prepared to fight these sanskaras. The more you resist them, the stronger will they become. If in the midst of defeats and disappointments you can stick to your path, you will surely reach the goal. There are two tendencies in human nature, good and bad. The former tends towards renunciation and the latter towards enjoyments. There is constant warfare between these two. The victory of the one or the other determines the nature of man. Finding innumerable means of enjoyment in this world, man becomes so much attached to them that they forget that there is another side to the picture. They think no one can be sure of the future. Why should we not enjoy what we have at present? Nobody knows whether God can be realized or not, whether eternal bliss is possible or not. But to enjoy the world is within our reach. Why should we therefore give it up? Consequently, they rush headlong into sense enjoyments. But when bitter experiences teach them that worldly pleasures bring only pain and misery and not peace and happiness, they cry with the disappointment, alas, what have we done? By following an unbridled life of enjoyment, man becomes slave of the senses. Chapter 15. Seek God only. At the Ramakrishna Sevasram, Kankhal, Haridwar, Swami Brahmananda. Everyone wants happiness who likes to undergo pain and misery. But how to obtain that happiness? Certainly not by running after the fleeting pleasures of the senses and ignoring Him who is the abode of all happiness. He has created many playthings to delude the human mind. Throw away all these and pray to Him. He will then hasten to take you in His arms. I tell you, you have had play enough. It is high time now to give it up and call upon the mother when a child is fond of play. The mother gives it toys to while away its time. But the child that does not care for play she carries about with her happy is the child that sits in the mother's lap. It is not only it is it not only enjoys the play but has also the happiness of the mother's company. The child that is engaged in play enjoy it no doubt, but also runs the risk of being hurt in its play. It may quarrel with its playmates and get beaten, but the child in the mother's lap has no such troubles. It is always happy and knows full well that the mother will take care of it and supply all its wants. The parable of the mango grove told by Sri Ramakrishna is very instructive. You have come to eat the mangoes. Why do you bother yourself about the number of trees, branches, and leaves in the garden? Eat the mangoes and be satisfied. You have come into this world for the realization of God. Accomplish this object first of all and fulfill your life's mission. Solve your own problem and equip yourself for life's journey. Struggle hard and become deathless by tasting immortal bliss. Pray to Him day and night. Whatever the form in which you think of Him, it will certainly do you good. Whatever form or name appeals to you, take it sincerely and pray to Him. You are sure to get the vision of Him. Parvati once asked Mahadeva how Satchidananda could be realized. The reply was through faith. You have been shown the right path. Follow it with faith, patience, and perseverance. Waste no more time in discussing the forms and details of your sadhana. Pray to Him in any way you please, and you are sure to get His blessing. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, sweetened bread will taste sweet in whatever way you begin to eat it. You are, as it were, sitting under the kalptaru wish yielding tree, and you will get whatever you ask for. Do not think yourself too clever. The crow thinks itself very clever, but it lives on field. Those who are too clever in this world get cheated in the long run. With a faith that knows no wavering, plunge yourself in deep meditation. Do not get disheartened if after a little practice you do not realize God. The ocean is full of precious pearls, but you may not get them at the first dive. My boys, once again I enjoin you, have faith in the words of your Guru and try to get absorbed in the deep meditation. Be sure sooner or later you will have a vision of the Lord. Do not allow your mind to get distracted. Keep steadily and patiently to your sadhana. His grace will descend on you in due time. Suppose you wish to see a great man, you have first to see and satisfy his attendance. Similarly, to obtain the grace of the Lord, you have to seek the help of godly men and undergo many spiritual practices. Knowing him to be dearer than the dearest, pray to him with a yearning heart for his grace and vision. Cry unto the Lord like a child. Incessant crying cannot but make the mother run to it. So also with the Lord, he reveals himself to that ones who unceasingly prays for his grace and vision. Seek off your sleep and seek the grace of the Lord with steadfast devotion. Make the mind one pointed like the mariner's compass. In whatever direction the ship may sail, the compass always points to the north, thus keeping the ship on its course. Even so, with the human mind, if it is fixed on God, there will be nothing to fear. If my if by chance one is thrown into a bad environment, even then his faith and devotion will remain unshaken. The moment he hears any talk about God, he will become mad with divine love. Just as the flint lying under water for 100 years, when taken out and struck, emits sparks. Those who have been favored with the vision of the Lord have their mind always fixed on him. They will have no taste for anything except to talk of him and to seek the company of holy men, like a fallen leaf tossed to and fro by the wind. Be content to remain wherever you are placed by the Lord. Do not have any will or desire of your own. Your mind is now pure and untainted. Try to keep it in this state always. In this state always, the spotless mind is like a dry matchstick. It ignites the moment you strike it, but it is of no use if it gets wet. You may go on striking it, but it will only break into pieces. Similarly, if the mind once becomes soiled, you will find it extremely difficult to restore it to its former purity. So I end this video here, and the next video number 4 will start with chapter number 16, control of the mind. Thank you. Namaskar, my dear friends. Namaskar. Namaskar.